Nearly all businesses that thrive do one thing well, and that's innovation. And with parts of the economy in the slow lane, the ability to innovate could be the difference between not just thriving but surviving. Sadly though, business consultant Dr Ken Hudson believes many businesses have lost the ability to innovate just when they need it most. I asked Dr Hudson why he's reached that conclusion.
Well, I think there's two big reasons. One is it's just hard, it's just difficult. And involves things like expenses, it's time consuming, but most of all it involves failure, experimentation. And it's hard to get managers and leaders and business owners to actually say, hey, I'm going to be innovative when they could run the risk of failing. So that's one big reason. And the second reason, it's a paradox, is that if they've been successful in the past, sometimes they're unwilling or unable to change in the future because they'll say, well, it's worked in the past, it'll always work.
What do businesses lose when they stop innovating?
Well, for a number of very important things. One is the trust of retailers, for example. Retailers are actually pushing companies to be more innovative. Consumers now expect it. You only have to look at the latest releases of the Apple products, for example. The consumers that want the companies to be more innovative, and they also lose the ability to charge higher margins, and then they only really compete on price. So it's a sort of a downhill spiral.
How do you know if you're not innovating?
There's three questions any person has to answer when they're wanting to innovate. One is, what does innovation mean in your business? Exactly what does it mean? How do we measure it, and why do it? And I think the second one, how to measure it, is probably the most important, because that's the only way we'll really know if a business owner or business manager or leader is winning or losing is by having some kind of metrics in place.
Well, for business owners watching this who may be thinking, having heard what you've said, oh, maybe I'm not innovating or not doing it as well as I should, what are some practical tips to become an innovator?
Well, I think there are a number of things you can do. My favourite tip or tool, if you like, is to, every time that you come across a problem, a challenge, an opportunity, is that you think of three different responses, three different sets of ideas. A usual set of ideas, a different set of ideas, and a radical set of ideas.
You alluded to it at the beginning of the interview about businesses doing things this way because that's the way they've always done it.
Yeah.
To change and to innovate, though, you'd want to see a real benefit from it. So what is the benefit to a business from becoming an innovating business?
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit is just, I think two. One is just that they'll stay in business. And you only have to look at examples like Kodak, for example, that didn't innovate and they're no longer in business. You stay in business and you prosper and you grow. I think that's from a financial point of view. But from an employee point of view, which I think was equally important, is that increasingly the best and brightest people want to work with organisations that are creating, that are innovating, that are trying things, that are testing new things, that want to do things differently from what it's always done. So I think that there's a financial benefit and I think there's a great people benefit.
Dr Ken Hudson, thank you very much for those insights.
Andrew, my pleasure.